Many of you know that I like to teach, I do it every week, teach the Parsha according to Reb Shlomo Carlebach, because he talked about amazing pieces of the Midrash that I don't usually hear, and he brought it in such a special way. So I want to share with you several pieces. One I'm going to start with last week, because one of the most beautiful pieces to me is how he sees the selling of Yosef and what's going on really between the brothers and Yosef. Because we usually have a sense of tremendous hatred and jealousy and what's that all about? So what Rich Shlomo gives, I'll give you a piece from this week that goes back to last week. It's called How Many Brothers Are You? And it's from the Zohar HaKodesh. And it goes like this. When Yosef asked his brothers, how many are you? This is when they came down to Egypt. He always answered, we have one brother and we don't know where he is. And we have another brother who's the youngest and he's with our father. But when Yehuda retold the story to Yosef, this is for next week, the beginning of Parsha Vayigash, he said one brother had died. And so all the commentators are asking, why does Yehuda suddenly decide to mention that Yosef has died? And the answer is like this, and it's very, very strong. He says, what's the whole story about the brothers selling Yosef? All the brothers knew that they had to be slaves in the foreign country. This was the vision that Abraham had. So Yosef was praying, let the slavery begin with me. Let it begin with me. Let me make up for all my brothers and also for my father, who was supposed to go down in chains. So the brothers' selling of Yosef and all the hatred between them is unbelievable. But one split second after they sold Yosef, the brothers couldn't understand what was going on. They started thinking to themselves, why did we do such a stupid thing? And they mamish asked God, did you do this? And they answered from heaven was, God answered back, I did it. You had no part of it. You were just like puppets in my hand. I had nothing to do with, it had nothing to do with you. It wasn't you. Now it took a long time for Yosef to catch up to that place in himself when they come down. But the actual way that Shlomo gives over the believing between each other is that Yehuda and Yosef have this conversation when he's still in the pit. It goes like this. The brothers are saying goodbye to Yosef. So Yehuda, who's the head, the king, right? He says to Yosef, okay, we're selling you as a slave, and you have to prove yourself if you remain a tzaddik or not. Because they believed that all these dreams and stuff that they couldn't understand what he was doing. And he was purposely telling them the dreams to try to separate himself from them so that he would be the only one going down as a slave. So it's like a whole plot going in all directions at once. So Yehuda says, we'll find out if you're really a tzaddik or not. You're who you say you are. So you know what Yosef says to Yehuda? My holy brother, please bless me that I should make it, right? Bless me to be a tzaddik. Now listen to this unbelievable thing Shlomo says. Yehuda blessed Yosef to be a tzaddik. And you know why Yosef remained a tzaddik? Because of the blessing of Yehuda. And what do you think Yehuda says to Yosef? Because he's selling his brother as a slave and he knows at some level I have to do it. So Yehuda says to Yosef, please bless me that I should do tshuva. Right? So Yosef blessed Yehuda to do tshuva. And Yehuda blessed Yosef to be a tzaddik. It's mind-blowing. Mind-blowing is not the right word, Shlomo says. So the two pillars of Yiddishkeit, The Zadok and the Baal Tshuva, they blessed each other. And Yosef is only a Zadok because of the blessing of Yehuda. And Yehuda is a Zadok of Baal Tshuva because of the blessing of Yosef. And that to me is one of the most beautiful parts of Shlomo's way of reading this. And the other piece, I want to finish off this other piece too, about how many brothers you are, because it explains something that's a little hard to understand in terms of why does Yehuda say that Yosef has died. He goes on to say, suddenly the brothers understood something awesome. The brothers now knew that Yosef was so holy, he had become a slave for their sake. And when Yosef left, Benjamin was the one who was taking care of his holiness, because the children of Rechov were super holy. And you see, the strength of Leah's children was that they were super criers. When it came to davening, they were the strongest. Yehuda was the biggest davener, and from him came King David and the Tehillim, in which he cried out from one corner of the world to the other. Yosef Hazadik's strength was Mamash's holiness. So when Yosef left, Benjamin took over. So listen to this, Shlomo says. It's very beautiful. The moment Benjamin became a slave, the brothers suddenly thought that Yosef must have died. They knew that somebody had to be a slave in order to fulfill the prophecy. And the moment Yosef said that Benjamin had to be a slave, they thought, Gavalt. Not only does Benjamin have to be a slave, but somewhere Yosef has died too. So only then did Yehuda come up and say, Yosef must have died. And he comes up in the next parsha. And this is like, and the whole, all these parshiot here are the choosing, so to speak, of who's Mashiach, Yosef or Yehuda, who's the real one. And it turns out they both are. And this parsha is focused on why Yosef is, and the next parsha is why Yehuda is. So that's, I want to do a little bit, a few more minutes, right? I want to read a little bit for Hanukkah preparation, because it fits with the dreams and everything else from this parsha. And there's a wonderful book on the soul of Hanukkah of Reb Shlomo. It's a collection. A lot of it's from the parshiot. And each day of Hanukkah is a different shining. The shining of the eyes for the first day, the shining of the soul for the second day, the shining of the children, third day, shining chutzpah, fourth day, fifth day is shining knowledge, then Torah for the sixth day, seventh day is shining home, and the last one is the shining future. It's a nice way to organize it. Shining eyes is the first day. So I want to read a little bit. Shining eyes is giving us back our dreams. So the person, a child has dreams as a young child, and then you gradually lose your dreams. So when you look into the light of the Hanukkah candles, it's a way of getting your dreams back. Who am I really? What are my dreams? What are my highest dreams? This is that you get a vision back again. Hanukkah, God gives us back our vision. My eyes begin to once again connect to my dreams. And you know what a real friend is? A real friend is someone who gives you back your vision. Someone who can give you back the dream you once had. It's your best friend in the world. And on Hanukkah, when God created the world, he had a dream for it. And what happened to his dream? So on Hanukkah, we give God back his dream. And how do we do this? By our ability to bless somebody else's lights. So if you see Hanukkah lights that someone else has, that's lit, you give them a blessing. You bless over them. And then there's this other little piece I want to finish with. Hanukkah is a time when God is visiting us. It's a very beautiful thing to be invited to the king's palace. And when the king takes time out, and you visit him and takes time out to visit you when you're sick, it means he loves you very much. So all the moments where we meet God occur on holidays when we're not permitted to work. We stop working, we're going to visit God. In Elul, we meet God in the field. But a home visit, Can you imagine how much God is shining onto me? When I walk in to visit the king in his palace, he smiles at me a little bit. But when the king takes the time to visit me in my house, when he walks in, do you know how much he's smiling? And when our eyes see the smile, we begin to dream again. That's a little bit of a Shlomo.
Thank you. It's very nice. It's very nice.
Shlomo, warm up our hearts. Lights it up.
Okay. Tov. Hilchos Shabbos. Okay, so today our topic is spare buttons on the inside of the jacket. Oh, okay. I'm just going to go through it like this. Yes, no, yes, if you need to. Yeah, okay, thank you. There are differences. There are differences of opinion. There are some opinions that it serves no purpose. It's not a tachshit. It's not a malbush. It's not a decoration. It's not clothing. It has no separate purpose. And it's there for just in case you lose one. And then there are others who say that it's that many of the foremost poskim, he says, say that you're permitted to use it because many fine men's suit. It's very common for tailors for people to do that, and since it's commonly attached to a garment and generally worn that way, so it's considered to be part of the garment. By the way, this is Kayla asked this question last week, right? Like, why a tag and not a, it becomes a question of how attached the thing is, right? Like if it's part of the garment, a manufacturer's label, a shotness label, they're sewn in. Okay, a dry cleaner tag, they're usually stapled in. They're a little less attached, but they're also permitted. Something that's dangling down is not really part of the garment, so it's not. It would be less allowed. So here's something that's very attached to the garment. That's a coat hood, which is our next topic. Coat hoods are permissible. I mean, in most cases, they really are part of the garment, right? They're attached to the garment.
Sometimes they're with a zip.
Even okay, so, right. So even they have snaps, buttons, zippers, Velcro. They're still attached, and you can wear them on Shabbos. Okay, belts.
Wait, so when there's a button that's barely attached, that it's like hanging with a string, and it's probably not.
Right, it's not, especially if it causes embarrassment to the person. But you can't take it off on Shabbos, so I'd like to skip that. But thank you very much. Apparently, some people thought it was important, so thank you for bringing that up. Okay, so belts. So if a belt is permissible because it either serves a very practical function, right? It holds your pants up, their pants up, or hold your clothing in place, or it's decorative, or So if you're not wearing it in that way, like if you after the chillin, you cannot walk out on the street in a place which does not have a proper A-roof. You can't walk out of the street that way. So it's a garment, but you can, in this case, you can only use it if it's worn like a proper garment. Okay, the same thing with a sash. If something is attached, if you have a belt that's attached to a coat, for example, so that certainly is part of your garment. If it's not properly closed, you can still wear it because it's attached to the garment. Even if it's not attached, even if it's just through loops, since it is a way that people wear these things, like I always wear them that way, then it also is considered to be part of the garment. Okay, next, a gartel. I'm trying to move on. Okay, a gartel. So there are many poskim who believe that there's no problem with it whatsoever. A gartel is a garment. And it exists as to honor tefillah, right? You put it on before you daven. So it's a full-fledged garment. However, the Igros Moshe, with Moshe Feinstein, felt differently about it. He said that it's a belt like any other belt. So if you were to wear it on top of another belt, it's like you're wearing two belts, and then you're a nar. Then you're, no, you don't wear two belts on top of,
But they don't wear it to hold up any pants.
right? No, but it's like wearing two belts. So what he said, well, exactly.
This is for
Yeah.
the separation of the heart from the lower area.
Right. So he said that's the solution, what Ariel mentioned. If you wear it on the outside of your coat or a jacket, then that's perfectly, and that's what you see most people doing, I think. Most men are wearing it outside. Okay. Sanitary pads, nursing pads. So you are permissive. They're not a tachshit, but I guess they're considered clothing because they're there to I don't know, what are they?
Protection.
They're there for protection, but they're not protecting your clothing. That's the important point. They're not protecting your clothing. They're protecting your body from being uncomfortable, from the moisture. For the same thing with a nursing pad. It's not to keep your dress nice and clean. It's to prevent the discomfort of having wetness on your body. So, for example, if the end of your period and there's not much of a, you can't just wear it. So you're underpaid, anyways, I don't have to get into all of that stuff. You get the idea, I believe, if it's no longer serving as a protection for your body, but serving as a protection for your clothing, then it would not be permissible. What did you say?
What about some people will wear them normally? Yeah, or the black hat or something.
Okay, so usually they're wearing it because it's uncomfortable for them, right?
Well, what about the psychological act? Vulnerable. Like get nervous.
It's interesting because there's I forgot what it's called. There's some kind of thing that used to be worn. It's some kind of a guard with a pebble in there that women used to wear as some kind of a protection, and it's against what he doesn't specify, but I guess you can imagine. But it's that would be permissible. So
That wasn't protecting the garments.
it was not protecting your garments, exactly. So we're not interested in protecting garments. Oh, everybody's all busy with this now, right? Okay, so we're not interested. Shh, settle down, people. We're not just, that's how my high school principal used to talk. Settle down, people. I just want all of you to get the reference. So it's not about protecting garments. It's about protecting your body and protecting your comfort. So that's so next week we're talking about riding a bicycle. So be here. Okay, that is it. And that is all. A few announcements. First of all, I would like to welcome Zamira. Zamira made Aliyah directly to Tzfat. She's like 3 months off the boat, right? Okay, so welcome, and I'm glad you're with us. And of course, I want to welcome back Shira Yehudit, who's a few days off the boat. She came back to us, and we're happy you're back to us. So thank you very much. Shira. Hi, Shira. I didn't even see you come in. I'm Shira Sherbo is back. Yay. Yay. Okay. All right. Just want to mention that breakfast. What?
He's here.
Ooh. Okay. I just want to mention that breakfast this morning is sponsored by Sippy Waternov, in honor of her birthday. There's a little birthday cake. See the birthday cake over there? Okay, so listen. Want to say something? Yeah, you don't have to. Want to say something? Okay. All right, you got to tell us how, when you do make it this public, you have to tell us how old you are. How,
Why not?
Susie, I'm being a bully. No, I can be a bully.
She's a bully, you can say no.
Okay, Mazel Tov, many, many more. And I think we have a big one next year, right? Big round one.
I'm starting my 79th year. But next year I'll start my 80th year. But I just finished 78. So it's like 78 years complete.
Uh-huh.
In the 79.
Wow, okay. Consalto. Okay, all right, so I think all of our regular. Do you want to say something?
Yeah, I wanted to say,
Go ahead.
I wanted to give a blessing. I thought a lot about many different blessings I could give. But I remember when I was little in school, it was kind of like a joke. They say something to so and so. When they said you're ugly and your mother dresses you funny. So I want to say that you should know that you're all the opposite. Hashem has made you beautiful on the inside with the mitzvot, and he dresses us in mitzvot. So we can be that beautiful, and we should know it on our inside.
Right. You should have many happy years.
Amen. Amen. Okay. So, Tippy, we should both be blessed. Tippy's one of those people that I want to dance with for Mashiach. Okay. Well, actually, all of you would be pretty good, but okay. All right. So it looks like all of our regular classes will take place today. It's Hashem, Baruch Hashem. Rav Avshi Weingart is continuing at 12:30, and he's been speaking about Hanukkah, so he's gonna continue that topic. Okay. Speaking of Hanukkah, so first of all, it starts this Wednesday night. Did everybody know? I bet you all know. Like nobody makes a mistake. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Town's filling up. Baruch Hashem.
Yeah.
Baruch Hashem for the Timmerim and the restaurants. Okay, so we're having our annual party on Monday. So everybody is asked to bring a small gift, wrapped grab bag. Everybody likes to get presents, even though it's not Jewish. But everybody likes to get presents, and up to 15, 20, 25 shekels. Nobody should. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
No limit on the book.
Well, okay, whatever you're comfortable with. Okay, so we have lots of nice things that are planned, and I think it'll be a fun day. So, and also we're going to start the day with Hallel at 8:45. So be here or be around. Right. Okay. And I have my one sufgaria a year at this party. So okay. So you could look forward to it. I certainly do. Okay. Oh, who else is back? Hannah back. Okay, yay, a lot of returns. Very nice. Rice team, welcome today that you're here with us. That's Zippy's birthday cake. That's Zippy's birthday. There's a delicious cake over there without candles. Okay, also this is next at the Hanukkah party, birthday party. At the Hanukkah party, we're going to be. I don't have to be reporting all this, do I? It's for posterity. So we're gonna have the drawing for the quilt. Wow. Here it is. So you're like running out of opportunities to buy your tickets and to sell your tickets. So if you haven't gotten one, this is it. So the drawing will also be next week. Let me see if there's anything else. Anybody else have any announcement? No, it's our regular. It's a regular learning with little things interspersed into the day. I mean, the party mostly will be from 12 to 12:30. Okay, hopefully, a few little changes throughout the day.
Yeah, I would like to make a couple of announcements. First of all, I would like personally thanking all the people who are coming early in the morning. and setting up and doing such an amazing job, knowing what to do and setting up this beautiful breakfast. Thank you. And therefore, I'd like to remind you, Baruch Hashem,
Yes, you do.
everybody has a good appetite. If you're coming too late, we have plenty of food, but if you're coming late and you're disappointed, then sorry, we still have tons of soup here.
Minestrone soup. This is delicious, delicious.
Third is, we're still collecting for the soldiers. Even though Yehudis went on a 20-hour flight to attend her brother's wedding in Panama.
Wow.
With 4 little kids. She left Motzei Shabbat. And she left cucumbers and carrots. That's why I was able to make an extra salad. It's like meant for soldiers. And she said, please tell people we still collect money. She set up before she went for people to go and light the menorahs for soldiers and to deliver to each of these bases that we were cooking for the suganiots from Bell. Doing fundraising right there in Panama. So this blue box is for soldiers. It doesn't exclude you for paying for Bas Medrash. Which is 25 shekels for breakfast and 20 shekels for the afternoon.
Or,
They know.
go ahead.
If you pay monthly, that's your prerogative.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're to point to the box, please.
Where's the box? Oh, it's right there.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, thank
This
you
is
very
Bas Medrash.
This is the soldiers, the Bas Medrash. Okay.
So a happy
Thank you very much. Okay, anybody else have any announcements? Okay, I think we should go, I announced it. Okay, I think we should go on some convenes. What do you think?
I think we should say, yeah. Thank you, Hashem. Thank you for Hanukkah. Thank you for each other. Thank you for shopping.